Hi there, my name is Sarah Herstich. I'm a trauma, eating disorder, and body image therapist, and I'm also the owner of Reclaim Therapy.
And my name is Laura, and I'm one of the therapists here at Reclaim. And I specialize in working with folks around the issues of trauma, disordered eating, and body image. I also work around the issues of grief and loss, and have some background as well with addiction and spirituality.
My name's Abby. I'm a therapist at the Reclaim Collective, working under supervision towards becoming a licensed professional counselor.
My name is Casey Cook. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Pennsylvania here at the Reclaim Collective. I work with individuals who are struggling with trauma, grief, disordered eating, and body image.
Hi everybody, my name is Emily Cinque. I am one of the therapists here at the Reclaim Collective.
So I opened the practice back in 2016, specializing in treating eating disorders. And really the intention behind opening the practice was to help folks come home to themselves, to help folks rebuild trust in their bodies, to rebuild trust in their minds, and to understand all of the ways that that trust has been broken, whether that's through buying into diet culture and the society that tells us that we should be a certain way, or whether that means understanding how trauma has manifested to break trust in ourselves. So the focus of our practice is treating trauma, complex trauma, body image concerns, and eating disorders.
I particularly am interested in the field of eating disorders, disordered eating, and trauma because of my own experience with disordered eating. Growing up in this world, particularly the dance world, I was a dancer for most of my life. It really felt inescapable. Diet culture, pursuit of thinness. So my own experience with disordered eating led me to exploring ways in which I could heal my relationship with food.
Being a child growing up in diet culture, where every magazine I saw, it was how to get thin, how to be beautiful. And the fact that those were simultaneous, and being able to see that that has a lasting impact on the way that we treat ourselves, the way that we feel as though we have to abide by society's standard of beauty, and the disconnect that that creates within ourselves.
And I have to say, what brought me into it was my own work of healing my relationship with my body and with food, working with wonderful people who gave me a sense that there are different ways to be in this world that are not in any way beholden to the diet culture and the fat phobia that we live with every day, and that I could learn. And in fact, I was always worthy of taking up space, worthy of all the things that I dreamed of and loved, worthy of really reclaiming my life, no matter what size I was in, no matter what the scale said.
It's been helpful and impactful being able to be open about my own journey in recovery with my clients, because at the end of the day, I do know how hard it is, and I want my clients to know above anything else when they start working with me that recovery is possible. And it is possible to have a different relationship with your body, have a loving and caring relationship with your body, have a normal relationship with food, to reclaim your mind and the thoughts in your mind.
From my own experience, I'm really passionate about supporting others who are interested in exploring their relationship with food, interested in exploring their relationship with their body, and the ways in which trauma impacts and intersects with those relationships.
And recognizing the connection between trauma, which is such an embodied experience, something that our bodies hold on to even when our minds aren't aware of it, and often then is played out in things like disordered eating, body image issues, addictions. And making that connection for me was really important. And then being able to lean in to the work of trauma and start to look at, what are those narratives that came out of the traumas of my life? And that could be me, that could be you, that could be anyone. So that we all have events that happen in life whether they are one-time events or they're chronic lived events like the family of origin that we grew up in, that set the tone for a narrative that we tell.
See that weight stigma and fat phobia and diet culture are inherently traumatizing because it causes us to lose sight of our inner self, our inner trust, our inner wisdom. And to be able to realize that eating disorders are a survival coping skill for a lot of people. And to be able to look at that with self-compassion and say that people are doing the best of what they know and the best that they can do with their circumstances means that looking at eating disorders becomes more complex, and it allows us to see the whole human being instead of just the behavior.
So the work of trauma for me is both being able to find a way to work with our bodies and help our body wisdom point us to the trauma that we have and ways that we can heal it. But also in doing so, that the core beliefs that we live with are not ones based in trauma anymore. That our core beliefs can be ones based in hope and based in the idea that change is possible and that we no longer have to be victims and we can reclaim our lives and live lives of contentment and face the triggers that might be out there with a sense of strength and a sense of hope that we are and will be okay.
I like to meet my clients where they're at and kind of pick out what the strengths are innately that already exist where they're at that they can use to help work towards the goals that we set in our work together.
So what I want clients most to know is that you're not alone. That there are others out there who get it, who know what it's like to suffer, who know what it's like to specifically suffer in the ways that you do around body image, around food, around dieting, around trauma. And I want my clients to realize that there's a place where they can come and be understood and safe and find their own way home.
I also want clients to know that diet culture sucks. And it is a multi-billion-dollar industry that wants to stay that way. And they are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that people stay engaged.
Diet culture creates a disconnect from ourselves. It is to disconnect from the inner trust and wisdom that you have had all along. Our work together is learning to reclaim that, learning to have a relationship with yourself where you start to build that trust over again.
My hope that in my work with my clients that they're really able to start to develop their own intuition, their own inner knowing. My hope is that the clients that I work with begin to really check in with themselves and honor their yeses, honor their nos, honor their not right nows, and begin to be more self-led. I hope that my clients, through our work, begin to invite a lot more compassion and gentleness as it relates to their experience, as it relates to their emotions and their thoughts.
This kind of work, working on relationship with body and relationship with food is already rooted in so much shame, and diet culture kind of piles that on. So I think it's always really important to point out that, again, you're not the problem.
Being able to not blame yourself, but blame that societal stigma, that weight stigma, that fat phobia, diet culture that takes advantage of your shame is powerful.
I believe that we are all the experts in our own lives, and I work in a way that really honors that expertise, that inner knowing.
I want you to know that we're believers in bodies. And what I mean by that is that we believe and we trust your body. We trust you and your lived experiences. We also trust that your body has the wisdom that it needs to heal from disordered eating, to heal from the trauma or the traumas that you've experienced in your life. And we believe that all bodies are worthy of being heard, of being seen, of being free from oppression. So when I say that we believe bodies, we really mean it. Your body has what it needs. You have what it needs. And it's our job, hopefully, to support you and to walk you through this journey of healing and coming home to yourself.
You mattered all along. I see you, and I think the world should too.
May all that is unforgiven in you be released. May your fears yield their deepest tranquilities. May all that is unlived in you blossom into a future graced with love.
We're the Reclaim Therapy team.
Reclaim your relationship with your mind.
Reclaim your relationship with your body.
Reclaim your relationship with food.
Reclaim your relationship with you.